same thing we do every time. Try to take over the world. I am kidding. We're doing no such thing. No one come knocking on my door for the next hour or so. Because what we're actually doing is episode 7 of the Ahn Chronicles. Can you believe we're already at episode 7? I can't. I can't. We're going to dive right in here. And this is all thanks to the Mythic Game Master Emulator, 2nd edition by Word Mill Games? I'm messing it up again. Oh, someone's going to be upset with me. Word Mill Games. No, I was on the right way. I was too timid to commit. I should have committed because I was correct. Word Mill Games. I always try and say press for some reason. I really need to learn this company's name because this product is amazing. Amazing. I don't know why I just said that right there, but yes, it is amazing. So check this out. In case you didn't know, this is a book system. This is its own internalized system that allows you to play any role-playing game solo. So if you cannot find anyone wanting to play the same game as you, or schedules just don't fit, here you go. This is the perfect opportunity for you to still enjoy your role-playing games. No one needs to be left out. Everybody can play whatever they want, even if what you want to play is fatal. We don't advise that on this channel at all, but the option's there thanks to the Mythic Game Master Emulator. Now I feel sour in the throat because I have mentioned the most god-awful game in existence. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to dive right in because why not? Okay, so hopefully you can see the character sheet a little bit better. You can see that earlier I was rolling dice just to make sure some things were balanced, and I rolled a GM intrusion. Yeah, thankfully that was not during a game session. So, okay. Your basic recap. So far, story so far. We have Ahn, who was basically a super soldier created by the Shockwray Empire. He is of a species known as the Zilvius, genetically engineered to be a superior creature, a superior soldier. Not only is he physically strong and capable, very fast, very tough, he is also a very potent psionic mind. Now, he is still learning his psychic powers. However, he's getting better every step of the way. Alright. Now, he, for some reason we have not gotten into yet during the sessions, he was labeled a heretic by his imperial government. We don't know what happened yet. I know, but there's no reason for me to get into that yet because it hasn't been an issue within the story yet. It will come out. I promise you that. So, where was I? Oh yeah. So, before he could be executed, his ship exploded for reasons unknown, and a lot of it crashed on Earth. So he manages to get away. He runs away after fighting a few of his own people for survival. He manages to get away. And let me see here. Where are my notes? I need my notes. Where are my notes? My notes are right here. All right. So he manages to get away. He sees local law enforcement of some kind move in and take some level of alien technology with them, and then the local police shows up, but Ahn evades them all. He searches for food and water, can't find anything except for some squirrels and some rabbits, which he eats ravenously. He is found by law enforcement. After a long discussion, they agree to look out for more Shockwave and help on by getting him shelter. So he finds shelter. He is tracked down by the Strange Man, who is a powerful hero within the story we're telling. Strange Man convinces him that he is needed for a specific combat, kind of like an oracle of some sort, or maybe because, and it has not come out yet. Ahn does not know this yet, but the Strange Man has the ability to travel through time and realizes that some people in some time variations need help. And this is one of those instances. So, Strange Man wants Ahn to help with an oncoming fight. The fight occurs. The Ahn manages to sneak up on the individual, but he gets too close, pressing his advantage, and this individual is a super soldier, so he catches wind, and they begin to fight. Ahn wasted his advantage, but hits greatly with his gravity sledge, which is his main weapon. After a grueling battle, Ahn emerges victoriously. So Ahn goes home, back to a safe house. The Shockwave have tracked him down. There's another fight. The apartment is severely damaged. Ahn, in a desperate bid to stay alive, uses a gravity bomb, killing all the Shockwave. Manages to fix up the place enough to get a good night's sleep. That is session 1. Lots happened in session 1. Session 2, a little bit more calm. Ahn is drawing a lot of attention when he's walking through the streets of New Philadelphia, a fictional city in central Alabama. He arrives at the library, trying to interact with people the entire way. He meets someone by the name of John Thorne. And John Thorne explains to him, go to the internet, or go use the internet at the library. You can use that to find out anything you need. So he sits down at the library and tries to get a showing for a rental property because he needs a new home. The last place kicked him out because there was violence there. So on his way to the showing that he was able to schedule, he is attacked by Shockwave. There are only 2 of them. He smashes one completely into goo with his gravity sledge, excuse me. Massively wounds another one with his cutter, which is a combat knife with a chainsaw blade around it. He drags the survivor off for interrogation. Ahn is not very good at interrogation. So, but he managed to find out that Jeddah, who is the commander, a local commander of Shockwave forces, Jeddah and about 5 more attack squads are coming after Ahn. So, skulking around, Ahn manages to track down a remnant. A remnant is a piece of solidified magic that can be used to great effect if you know what you're doing. So he tracks it down and he meets the Monotone, who is injured at this time, and says, I will guard you while you heal if you let me use the remnant. An agreement is made, and Ahn uses the remnant eventually to intimidate the Arbiter Magnificent, who is one of the leaders of the Shockwave Empire. Manages to communicate with him across vast distances, and basically sort of challenges the Arbiter Magnificent to come and get him. Next session, Ahn is still trying to interact with people and learn social skills, so he goes to a club known as the Black Rose, not liking the music, not liking the smoky interior, the flashing lights, or anything like that. He's getting ready to leave, and then he discovers whiskey. And he loves whiskey, but because of his supernatural immune system, he can't get drunk off of it, so he's just enjoying the taste. Um, but during the course of his investigation of whiskey, he is attacked by two vampires who made a big show of trying to distract him while they fed from him, but he's too wily for any personal attacks such as that. So he destroys them after quite a lot of effort. Um, Down the street, the cops stop on, and he agrees to go with them. Um, and then they stop him and they're like, look, you know, we need you to do some stuff for us. Will you at least think about it? Ahn is like, I'm not a mercenary, so I'm going to have to think about it. So Ahn leaves, he's wandering around, and he ends up fighting an Ocrix, which is an alien type of creature that Ahn is very familiar with, but does not know how he managed to come across one. So after the fight, he falls asleep. He's very tired. The police wake him up and escort him home, but the vampires track him home. And that's the end of that session. The next session, three vampires are standing in front of his home, so he decides to attack. He destroys one. The other two plead for help, saying that there's a master vampire making a bid to control New Philadelphia. And that vampire's name is Yahest. So Ahn tracks down this vampire. There are 5 other vampires in the Capitol building when they are tracked down. They're near the master. Ahn gets stomped by the master vampire, who leaves Ahn alive for nefarious purposes. That was the end of that session. In the next session, Yahest, the master vampire, tries to negotiate for Ahn to track down a random Aether, someone that Ahn has no idea who it is. Ahn has no clue, and figures that this is a facade for something else, but he has no choice at this point. So Ahn goes in to his home. He's eating breakfast, and the police arrive in force, asking him to track down a rogue Aether. The master vampire, it turns out the master vampire and the police want him to track down the same Aether. We determined that the master vampire wants the Aether's agnati and power, which could be exceptionally dangerous, but we don't know that part. During Ahn's investigation, Ahn becomes under attack from some type of mental force. He's able to push that off. Let me see here if I can read my own notes. They get to Manhattan, find this random Aether by themselves. She is known as Passion. She's rather in a state of undress at this moment in time, doing graphic things that we didn't get into then, we're not going to get into now. Ahn covers her with a blanket. They leave. While they're leaving, there's an aerial conflict as Yehest and some vampires attack on telekinetically grabs the master vampire and squishes him like a grape, thinking that he's killed the vampire. But we all know vampires, unless you kill them in very specific ways, can't be killed that simply. So that was the end of that session. So then we got to episode 6, which was the last session that we played. Episode 6, not knowing what else to do, Ahn takes passion to a commune of aethers, meets salvation. Salvation cannot heal passion, but there is a small, filthy aether known as Rat Punk. I figured out his stats and his name between game sessions. Rat Punk has the ability to recharge certain psychosomatic losses that occur naturally within the body. So he says it's going to take some time for her to recover, but she will recover. So Ahn leaves her there in a place that she's familiar with, wanders away, can't really decide what to do, decides to investigate why the police are so scared of him. He turns to Monotone for some help. Monotone helps train him up, and we are back up to speed with where we are now. Now, Ahn has leveled up quite a bit. You can't see the whole of his character sheet, but let me get over here and come over here so I can actually see things too. His list of skills has grown. He's been trained now in interrogation, intimidation, investigation, and police procedures. His skills have also grown. You can see the list of his powers. His superpowers are right here. They have grown in intensity, so he's gotten stronger. He's gotten his regeneration factor kicks in a little bit more often, let's see here. He's gotten some more telekinetic abilities, and during all this time, he's gotten trained in medium weapons, and you can see now he is tier 3. No advancements into tier 3 yet. Before we start this new session, I just want to say thank you to again to Mythic for creating the emulator system as they have. But I also want to thank these guys here. I'm going to go back to the cover. The Cypher Rulebook. This is the rule system we use to actually play the game. Monty Cook Games developed this about 10 years ago. This is the revised edition. You can play absolutely anything with it, which is why I picked it, because the emulator system is designed to go with any role-playing game. Cypher system you can do with any setting. Therefore, I decided to pair the two, and now we have what we have. So our hero is basically level 3 within this game system. Now I am going to open up the rule book over here so I can keep track of things as needed, and go to the character sheet. Okay, so at this point in time, the session begins. Ahn wakes up one morning after quite a bit of training. Is he awoken by the monotone? Let us roll and find out. The Chaos factor is 5. I need to make sure I have a journal sheet here. Chaos factor is 5. This is scene number 1. Yes, the monotone wakes him up. Well, why didn't Ahn get to sleep in a little bit? After all this training, he must be very tired. Is something wrong? No, nothing's wrong. Monotone, when are you going to tell me your real name so that I don't have to just say monotone? It's too many syllables for me to deal with this early in the morning. Ahn, don't give that to me. You know, right now, I need your help with something. So we're going to find out what the monotone needs help with. First of all, before I even do that, I'm going to test the scene to see if it goes as expected or if something goes awry. We get a scene interrupt. So, monotone is intending to show me something, but we're interrupted. What are we interrupted by? We move towards a thread, which means I need to roll and see what thread we move towards. So I roll a d4. 1, 7. All right. That one really doesn't make sense, so I'm going to roll again. All right. So the thread that we're moving towards is finding out who tried to control Ahn telepathically. The same person controlled passion. Apparently this is a problem. So, but I'm curious what monotone was going to show me. So we're going to roll. We're going to roll for the tone of the adventure, and then we're going to roll for actions to see what monotone was going to show me. So the tone, there's going to be a lot of travel in this adventure. Okay, so he's going to show me something strange, and there's going to be a trap involved. So, how am I going to put this? All right. Since we're at Salvation's encampment right now, what I'm going to say is monotone has found a tear in the horizon. And this can, of course, be a trap and an ambush point. So I think this is a good thing. So, is there something coming out from the tear in the horizon? Yes. Now, in the game setting, the most obvious answer is something that would not be very pleasant. They are the antithesis of the Aethers, Aethers being the superpowered individuals. So we're going to see if they show up. Is it the Vosges that are coming through? Yes, it is. So there are 5 Vosges, because they always travel in groups of 5. Have the Vosges merged to their war form? No, they have not. So the 5 Vosges scatter throughout the compound, trying to do the most chaos possible. They're attacking Aethers. Do they attack me by mistake? No, they do not. But the monotone is getting attacked, and I don't appreciate that. So I'm going to join in the fight with the monotone. And what am I going to do? You know what? I'm angry. I'm frustrated at the way things have been going. I am going to try and hit a Vosge with the gravity sledge. Oh, I forgot to put in the difficulty. Difficulty is 5. That'll wake me up in the morning. Alright, now I'm trying to hit. Still a success. Alright, cool. So that Vosge takes 14 damage out of the 15 that it can take. The monotone very easily finishes it off, gives me a nod, and we go off to deal with the other 4. However, is the tear in the horizon still open? No, it is closed. Do the Aethers on site easily destroy the Vosge that have come through? No. So it's up to me and the monotone to save them. So we go to the next Vosge, and it is attacking someone. Who is it attacking? It is charged up against the monotone. So monotone takes a hit because he did not see it coming from behind. It disrupts his powers slightly, so he cannot turn intangible or invisible or control superpowers or anything like that. He can't use any of his abilities for the time being. Doesn't mean he can't fight. He's still an impressive swordsman. So Ahn is going to turn around and slam this one with the gravity sledge. Why am I rolling that dice? I need to roll over here on my character sheet. I rolled a 1, which is a GM intrusion. Now, first of all, I can spend one of my 4 XP to ignore it, or I can accept it and get another XP. I'm going to take the XP that this is providing me. So I now have 5 XP, but something drastic goes wrong. My gravity sledge is broken. I've used it too much, so I'm going to have to repair it. I don't know how to repair such things. This is going to be a problem. So, having missed the monotone, does the monotone manage to hit this Vosge? Yes, and it is a very good hit. Alright. It was a phenomenal hit because I rolled a 9. So we're going to say he does some additional damage. So he does 8 points of damage to this Vosge. Normally he does 6. I'm going to drop my gravity sledge, pull out my cutter, and attempt to hit this same Vosge. I succeed. So, dropping the sledge, I move my arm around to quickly pull out the cutter, which is a large knife with a chainsaw blade that wraps around it. Activating it, I swipe up the Vosge's chest, and magic energy just starts sparking out of it, bleeding out onto the ground, causing the grass to become animated and run around and start playing. This is the first time Ahn has faced a Vosge, and he's slightly distracted by the magical effects the Vosge blood has on the environment. But he has destroyed this Vosge, having done an extra 10 points of damage. He even causes enough damage for that Vosge to be taken care of. There are 3 left. Can the Aethers safely take out the other 3 remaining? No. So it is up to us to continue on. Now, since this is a new combat scene, Monotone has his powers back. Does Monotone hit? Yes, but he does normal damage, so he inflicts 6 points of damage. I am going to use my cutter, screaming vehemently because all I want to do is figure things out, and I keep getting distracted by new things all the time. I'm rolling the wrong dice again. I need to roll for the cutter, not the fake questions. I succeed, causing 10 points of damage, which destroys the third one. Again, the blood hits the ground, and this time all the rocks start levitating up and smashing into each other. You hear tiny little voices coming from the blades of grass screaming, "No, it's asteroids!" Ahn is perplexed. He has no clue what's going on here. Can the Aethers on site take care of the remaining 2 Vosges? No. Here we go to attack again. I am going to attack first. This time, what am I going to do? I'm going to charge with my cutter. And don't I have something for charging attacks now? Let me see here. Charge attacks, yes. It costs 1 speed, so I can charge and still take an action. Okay. I'm going to do this. We're going to lower my speed by 1 point because that's what it costs. And I'm going to attack with the cutter. I hit, doing 10 points of damage. The charge attack says that for movement action, I can move and attack. So now I'm going to attack again with my attack action. I failed to hit. I'm trying to get too impressive here. The Monotone kind of laughs and says, "Leave some of it for me." Does the Monotone hit? No, he does not. Ahn says, "At least I can hit my target most of the time." So they start bantering back and forth, not really paying attention to the severity of things. Does the last Vosges have plans specific for the commune? No. So obviously chaos and destruction were their only reasons. You're not coming for me this time. This time. Bad joke. I'll explain later. Okay. So, Ahn is going to attack. And miss, which is going to give the Vosges the opportunity to attack me. Difficulty 5 is still in there. Speed defense. They miss. Does the Monotone hit? Yes, dealing 8 points of damage. I'm going to try and hit with my cutter. Success. Again, slicing this one. There is 1 left. Does someone else take out this lone survivor of the attack? No. No. Does the Monotone hit with his charging sword attack? Yes, dealing 6 points of damage. I am going to charge in with the cutter, not using a charging attack though. Just going to close distance with my movement, attack as normal, hit, and destroy the last one. Ahn looks at the Monotone and says, "That was too easy. I thought you said these creatures were hard, that they were chaos incarnate, that they could not be destroyed that easily. And why didn't anybody else help? On voices looking out towards the survivors of the attacks who are cowering. You all have superhuman powers. You have abilities beyond your kin. You could have pitched into the effort. Monotone looks at Ahn and says, "Hey, buddy, calm down, relax. We had it under control." Ahn spits and says, "Oh, I don't like it." So we're now going to add Vosges to the characters list here, because we never know when they're going to be back. They are level 5. And I'm going to take some notes on the adventure journal. Monotone and on destroy them. All right. Well taken care of. Well done. So, knowing that this entails travel, does the monotone need me to travel somewhere with him? No. Ahn says, so why did you wake me in the first place? The monotone says, well, I wanted to show you this terror and explain just how important it is to monitor such things and make sure that the Vosges don't come out and that they're not monitored, that they don't destroy things when they come out, because their sole purpose is to hunt aethers. I am about to go through this tear because I have the ability to transport myself from different dimensions. So I am going to go there, find out what's going on, and then I will come back. Ahn shrugs and says, well, what am I supposed to do? The monotone says, monitor this point. Make sure more Vosges don't come out. And the monotone disappears into the terror of the horizon. Ahn just shrugs, bends over, picks up what's left of his gravity sledge, walks around. Does anyone have tools? Something I can use to fix this? One of the aethers there walks up to him. Does this aether have tools or know of tools that can be used? Yes, they do. Excuse me, you can go over to the mechanic's shed over here to our left, to your right, actually. It's my left, your right. And Ahn is like, I understand the differences between facing and direction. And the guy's like, well, right, sorry, just all the tools are in there, just make sure you put them back when you're done. Good luck fixing it. I hope it wasn't too important. And Ahn just kind of pushes his way past the very meek aether and says, bloody important enough. It's my signature weapon. This is baby. No, he doesn't say that. That's a reference to another game. So he goes over to the shed. Is he able to repair his sledge? Now he has no such skills. But he is very smart. So I'm going to spend one level of effort. Which only cost me 1 point. Now, the sledge is level 8. So I might end up having to spend a lot more than that. If it's a level 8 sledge, that means it is a heroic effort. So I spent for one. I'm going to spend for another. So I gotta spend 4 more, so that's actually 3 more because of my point reduction. So that is giving me 2 levels of effort. I have tools. And I am going to ask the group if anyone can help me. Is there a mechanic amongst you all? Resounding yes. So, this is going to be a chance to introduce a new character. He steps forth wearing what seems to be body armor, shimmering chrome. He looks like he has a television implanted into his chest. He steps up and says, I know my way around some machines. What's the problem? The gravity sludge gave out. It's like, we can fix this. We can definitely fix this. So this character that we're introducing is Ares. He's known because he is good with weapons and manifesting weapons and destroying his opponents. And he is a level 6 Aether himself. So since he is a level 6, that is going to give us another asset and a free level of effort. Now I'm going to roll intellect and we're going to see what happens. We fail. Oh, gosh, that's nuts. Oh wait, no, that was damage effort. Oh, I need to re-roll that. I put that in the wrong place. Sorry. Free level of effort. Now roll, because that damage effort would have done nothing for us. Resounding success. The gravity sledge is fixed. Ares has made a new best friend. So Ares and Ahn will go over and have a celebratory drink. Let me make some notes here. Monotone. Leapt into tear in the horizon. Met Ares, who assisted in repairing the sledge. As willful and powerful as Ahn is, he doesn't really put 2 to 2 together and go, well, why didn't Ares help us with the attack if he's good with weapons? Obviously, Ares didn't say what his specialty was. Maybe Ares just got on the scene. We don't know. That's okay. We're not going to give Ares any grief right now. Instead, we're going to go to the second scene. Is the scene going to go as expected? I rolled over the chaos factor. It is. So, we revert back to our original thread, which was why the cops are so scared of Ahn. Still ever watchful for the Vosges to rear their head again, Ahn asked Ares, how should I go about this? Certainly you know these police people better than I do. Does Ares give Ahn good advice? Yes. So after some good advice from Ares, Ahn finally feels like he can go and approach the police and talk to them on their own terms. So he does so. He is going to go to the police department, and I need to see if everything is going okay at the police department. Is there something wrong going on at the police department? No, there isn't. Or excuse me, no, yes, there is. Yes, there is. I was reading those dice backwards. It's 39, not 93. Yes, there is. Does it involve aethers? No, it does not. Does it involve mutants? Yes, it does. So we're going to say a mutant has broke free from custody and is threatening several policemen's lives. Ahn shows up, sees this. Can Ahn reposition himself to get the drop on this creature? What level is this creature, first of all? We're going to say D6 plus 2. I only rolled a 1. It is level 3. Can Ahn get the jump on this thing? Yes, because I still have effort and all that plugged in, which is wrong. So we have to re-roll again. Do I get the drop on this thing? Yes, I do. Okay. So, is Ahn strong enough to hold this thing? Because I don't know how strong this is. So, again to the Oracle. No, Ahn is not strong enough. It breaks free. And, what is its mutation? What is it capable of doing? So we're going to come over here because we have the Mythic source book available to us. And if I just turn a little bit to, where is it? Creature abilities. I thought there was something for mutations. Maybe I didn't go far enough. Mutation descriptors. Page 211. This book has everything. 14. It has claws. But it's a simple creature. It can't think. Restoration. It's still trying to heal from damage inflicted upon it. So, and I don't want to kill it because the police were bringing it in for a reason. So, it's a level 3 creature. I'm going to try and hold it telekinetically with one of my new abilities, which costs 4 points, but I have edge of 2, so I'm down to 16 points here. And let's check out this massive ability that I just got here. Force at distance. Temporarily bend the fundamental law of gravity around the creature or object up to twice my mass. Well, this thing's kind of small. The target is caught in my telekinetic grip, and you can move it up to a short distance in any direction each round that you retain your hold. Let's see here. Okay, and that's just, the rest of it's just about targeting multiple targets. Okay, so I've spent my points. I need to make an action, make a roll for this power. So this is an intellect power. I do not have skill in it. I succeed. Ooh, and I managed to inflict a little bit of damage to this guy. Does the extra force that I just used upon it kill it? No, that is a resounding no. Okay, so maybe it has some type of healing factor or something. But I accidentally squeezed too hard with my telekinetic grip, and it howls out in pain. And I move it over to the police officers and I say, okay, we need to time this well. I'm going to release my grip upon it, and you need to get it in chains very quickly. Are you ready? Are the cops ready? Uh-oh, as it lands, yes, with a resounding success. They are ready. They are actually going to be able to catch this thing as soon as the telekinetic grip is lifted. All right. So they take the thing back into custody. Um, does someone walk over to me, or do they avoid me? They avoid me. I'm really getting tired of this treatment. So, again, with no proper etiquette in mind, Ahn screams out, "Does no one here like me? I just helped you out, and you're going to ignore that fact. You're going to ignore me and go about your normal business. I need to speak to someone." Does this get any reaction from the police? Yes, it does. And I think I know how this is going. One of the desk sergeants comes out and says, "You want to talk to somebody? We'll make sure you get to talk to somebody. Come on, I got somebody right in mind for you." Somebody that is right in mind is the department shrink. So Ahn sits down on a sofa that is about to break in half because of his weight. This woman sits apart with a notebook in her lap and says, "So, what did you want to talk about, Ahn?" "Well, I wanted to talk about the disposition of the police and why they ignore me and why they seem so scared of me." I want to roll to see how this woman reacts to this. So, non-combat actions. So, here we go. So, I rolled delay. So this NPC that is talking to him right now, this department shrink that is talking to him, is trying to delay things, obviously, so someone more important can deal with things. Does that person show up during this little event? Yes. Let's find out a little bit about who is supposed to show up. So we're going to roll, and I'm going to take some notes here. We're going to roll on character appearance. They are short. What is it with short people in this session, in this game, period? They are dirty. Apparently I like my filthy short people. They are heavy set. Okay, now then, what do they want out of? No, let's get some descriptors first. 44. Oh, this person is disciplined. And intelligent. I'm kind of getting the impression of like a short Harvey Bullock from DC Comics. So we're going to call this guy Harvey as an homage. But we're going to change the last name. We're going to change the last name to Harvey Howard. We're just going to call him Harvey Howard. All right. So Harvey Howard shows up. And it's like, "Don't worry, Greta, I'll take it from here." On as far as the department goes, look, we appreciate you wanting to help. Okay? But finding you the assets you needed to get a home, that's about where our influence ends. Okay, we have a duty to uphold the law with our citizens. You're just a guest here. Now, we will protect you should things come your way that you can't protect yourself from. But our main attention has to be towards our citizens. Certainly, you can understand this. Ahn kind of nods, says, I do understand. I do understand that I mean nothing to you. You promised to help me, and now you are rescinding that help. Harvey, being the disciplined and intelligent person he is, says, no, that is not what is happening here. You are misunderstanding me. You're putting words into my mouth. Listen to me very carefully. You're not a citizen. You are a guest here. Okay? It's just like if someone came over from Russia. They're not a citizen. They're a guest. Okay? What you probably need to do is apply for a visa. Okay? So that you can stay here and legitimately, in the name of the law, we can provide our normal services for you. And Ahn says, well, what services is that when all you do is reinforce the law? What else can I do? And Harvey is like, well, I don't know. What do you want to do? Ahn says, well, I was a soldier before my ship crash landed here. I was a soldier, so certainly there's something I've got to be able to do. Well, Harvey says, soldiers don't act on our soil. We have police to do that. Soldiers go elsewhere to fight. Ahn says, so you're sending me somewhere else? Harvey says, no, we're not sending you anywhere right now because you're not a member of this army. You're not a member of the United States Army. It would be lawless for you to go anywhere else. I don't understand what I'm supposed to do. What am I supposed to do? Does Harvey give good advice at this moment? All at 3. That is almost as good as it can get. So Harvey leans in a little bit and says, what is it you really want to do? Ahn says, well, I really want to talk to my family. I miss my family. But I have no means of going back home. And surely the government there will just chase me out or try to kill me. I don't know what to do. Harvey looks at Ahn and says, maybe there's some way you could build something here and communicate with your family across this distance. That's what I suggest you to focus on. Focus on your family. Focus on that. Maybe that will help. Ahn nods his head and says, I will do this. You have given me great insight into the moment. I appreciate this, Harvey. Are you a detective? Is that rank something that I should be acknowledging at this moment? Harvey says, yes, I am a detective. Ahn says, well, apologies, detective, for not addressing you by your rank. Detective Harvey, thank you for your time. Ahn stands up and he leaves. And that's where we're going to call it for right now. Mostly a role play session. I will make some notes here that saying that I talked to Harvey and seeing about where I'm going to go for the next session. I see it kind of going in mixed directions. I see some sessions being mostly role play, some sessions being just all out fights, and I kind of like that. It's just like any good role playing game would pan out. Eventually, you're going to have social dynamic rule out the day. I like this a lot. I really appreciate that the engine allows for such things. So, you this time I want to thank Monty Cook Games for um, the Cipher System rulebook. I also want to thank again um, the Word Mill Games. I always try and say press, but that's not in there. For Mythic Game Master Emulator. I think both of these companies have done a lot of great work, specifically fitting to the tale that I'm trying to proceed with here. So thank you both your companies. I am a fan only. This is not anything they paid me to do. So again, I just want to thank both of these companies for what they've done, what they've given us as a role playing community to allow us to do the things that we want to do with our role playing games. So to the Mythic Game Master Emulator. If you are interested, you can get this if it would scroll. Come on, scroll. Yeah, I know you're working on it. Okay. Mythic Game Master Emulator, you can see the credits here, as I should be showing them off every session. The best way I can tell you to do this is to go to Drive-Through RPG, pick up Mythic Games emulator system, maybe a couple of issues of their current magazine run in which they flesh out details. Every single issue, they focus on something different, which I think is great support. Or you could go to Drive-Through RPG and get the Cipher System rulebook. Take a look at what that does. Tremendous options on playing in any genre. You could do a lot worse. So right now I just want to thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the content for today. Take care, have fun, and we'll see you later.